Hi Mark, good morning to everyone. Today we are discussing about the topic is Unit 4 Electric Fields and Charges. Now the question and answers. The first question is state and explain the Coulomb's inverse square law. Coulomb's inverse square law or Coulomb's law. The state and explain the Coulomb's inverse square law or inverse Coulomb's law. So the statement of the Coulomb's inverse square law is nothing but it states that the force of attraction or repulsion between the two charges or two bodies is directly proportional to the product of their charges. That means magnitude of the product of their charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them is the statement of the Coulomb's inverse square law. That means F is proportional to charges, magnitude of their charges, that means Q1, Q2, and F is proportional to 1 by R square. F is proportional to these two equations Q1, Q2 by R square. The proportionality constant K is the proportionality constant F equal to K into Q1, Q2 by R square. Here K is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That value is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Coulomb per Newton meter square. So here the epsilon naught is nothing but a permittivity. Epsilon naught means permittivity in a free space. We are considering epsilon, that is a permittivity of in a medium, some other medium, not a space. Epsilon naught means permittivity of a free space, and therefore substitute K value F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Here we are observing the magnitude of force, that means the value of F will be equal to positive value, that means some plus 24 newtons. What is it? The magnitude of force is negative value, that means minus 24, minus 34, minus 10, that's right, like that. Negative value, then it indicates the force acting on between the charges is an attractive force. That means F value is negative, this is the attracting force, okay. And F is a positive value, that is a repulsive force, that means repulsive force. Negative value means the force of attraction between two opposite charges. So that is the attractive force. Because why? Because the like charges are repel and unlike charges are attract to each other. Plus into minus, minus, product of their charges Q1, Q2 are plus into minus, minus. The force which is negative value, we will get the force is attractive force. The value is positive value. For example, 2 plus plus charges or 2 minus minus charges are multiplied, plus into plus plus, minus into minus plus. So that force is nothing but a repulsive force. That means those two charges are like charges. So once I will repeat it. State and explain the inverse square laws. Inverse square law, Coulomb's inverse square law. It states the force of attraction or repulsion between the two charged bodies is proportional to the product of their magnitude. The magnitude of the charges, product of their magnitude, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. R is the square of the distance between them particles. That means this is Q1 particle, this is Q2 particle, Q1, Q2. This is the distance R. So F is proportional to Q1, Q2 by R square. From this we have to write proportionality constant K. F equal to K into Q1, Q2 by R square. K equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That is the constant value. 1 by 4 into pi means 3.14, and epsilon naught value is 8.837 into 10 to the power of minus 9. So total the value becomes 9 into 10 to the power of 9 Coulomb per Newton meter square. Its value will be substituted in F. We will get F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So the magnitude of force will be negative value. The two forces are in attractive forces. That means the two charges are indicates that the force acting between the charges is attracting force, and the value is positive. The two forces attracting and repulsive force. Repulsive force is adjust between like charges, and attractive force adjust between unlike charges. That is the Coulomb's inverse square law. Coulomb's inverse square law అనగానే మైండ్ లోకి రావాల్సింది ఏంటమ్మా, F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. And next we will discuss the next question. And the next one is the state Gauss law in electrostatics and explain its importance. The Gauss law is nothing but a state the Gauss law and explain its importance. So Gauss law is nothing but the total electric flux through any closed surface is the total electric flux in any closed surface is equal to the 1 by epsilon naught times of its charge enclosure in it is the Gauss law. So what is the electric flux? The total number of lines crossing through the field is nothing but a electric flux. We already discussed it. So the Gauss law states that the total electric flux will be equal to the total electric flux of any closed surface will be equal to the 1 by epsilon naught times of its charge enclosed in it. So that means the total electric flux will be equal to integral surface integral E dot ds. This circle indicates this is the surface integral we are considering. Or this is and this is already same, surface integral and surface integral. These two are the surface integrals. So phi E equal to E dot ds will be equal to 1 by epsilon naught times its charge. Here epsilon naught is the permittivity in the free space and epsilon naught value is 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. So its importance, Gauss law's importance is nothing but Gauss law is true for any closed surface. That means it does not depend on shape and size, but it depends on any closed surfaces. And Gauss law gives the relationship between electric field and charges. This is the electric field and this is the charge. So the Gauss law gives the relation between electric fields and charges. Here suffix E indicates electric flux or suffix B indicates magnetic flux. Okay. So the importance of Gauss law is valid for stationary charges as well as the moving charges also. So once I will repeat it, Gauss law in electrostatics, the Gauss law states that the total electric flux will be equal to the 1 by epsilon naught times of the total charge enclosed in it, that is the Gauss law. So to that from the statement we can write phi E, that is the electric flux will be equal to surface integral E dot ds will be equal to q by epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is the permittivity in the free space and its value is 8.8578 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. And importance, Gauss law is valid for, Gauss law is true for any closed surface, that means any size and any shape. And Gauss law gives the relation between electric field and charges, and Gauss law is valid for stationary charges and also moving charges. And next one is derive the equation for the couple acting on an electric dipole in a uniform electric field. Now derive the equation for the couple acting on a electric dipole in a uniform electric field. That means we can place a dipole into an electric field, we can observe a torque acting on the dipole. So we can find out the expression for the torque. So we are considering here dipole A, B is the dipole A, B is the dipole. That means here is the negative Q and here is the plus Q. This is minus Q. The force acting is in this direction. This is the minus EQ and this is the plus EQ. That means the field acting in this direction. So force E equal to F by Q. Everybody knows that E equal to F by Q. From this F equal to EQ. So the force is plus, here is the, we are considering minus Q, so minus EQ, here plus Q, so plus EQ. So for this, consider an electric dipole of two charges plus Q and minus Q separated by a distance 2a. The point charges are separated by a distance 2a distance. So this dipole is placed in an electric field of intensity at an angle theta to the direction of the field. This is the field direction, it will be placed in an electric field and its intensity is E. So the electrostatic force acting on the poles. So the electrostatic force, we can place this dipole in an electric field. So the electrostatic force will act on this dipole. That means that force is nothing but a plus Q equal to EQ, minus Q is nothing but a minus EQ. So they form a torque which it tends to rotate the dipole into a direction of electric field. So the torque will be produced in the dipole that will be able to rotate the direction of the electric field, rotate the dipole into the direction of the electric field direction move cheyadaniki torque anedi act chestundi anamata. So torque tau will be nothing but a force into distance, perpendicular distance between the forces, that is nothing but a perpendicular distance between the force is nothing but a AC. So torque tau equal to force into perpendicular distance between the forces is AC. So from this we want the value of AC. From the triangle ABC we can write sin theta equal to AC by 2A. So then AC will be equal to 2A sin theta. Substitute AC value in torque tau equal to F into perpendicular distance. So F is nothing but a EQ and AC is nothing but a 2A sin theta. So sin theta means 2AQ. 2AQ is nothing but a momentum P, dipole momentum P is nothing but a 2AQ. Q is the charge and 2A is the dipole distance between two charges, and tau equal to how much? 2aq will be nothing but a p e sin theta. AB sin theta will be equal to a cross b from vector and scalar property. So here we will get tau equal to p e sin theta, then we can write tau equal to p cross e. So in today's class we will discuss the Coulomb's law, Gauss law and the electric dipole moment. First, Coulomb's law is nothing but a force of attraction is proportional to the force of attraction or repulsion between the two charges is proportional to the product of their charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. That is, the F is proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square, F equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R square, F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 coulomb per meter, Newton meter square, and the final value epsilon naught is permittivity in a free space. So the Coulomb's law states that F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. This is the Coulomb's law. Next one is the Gauss law. Gauss law is nothing but the total electric flux will be equal to the 1 by epsilon naught times its charge enclosed in it. That means phi E will be equal to surface integral E dot ds will be equal to Q by epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is the permittivity in the free space and its value is 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square, and its importance is nothing but a Gauss law is valued for stationary charges and the as well as moving charges, and it gives the relation between electric fields and the charges, and the Gauss law is true for any closed surfaces. That means it does not depend on shape and size. And the next one, dipole moment. First, through this we can find out the dipole is placed in an electric field. The two charges plus q and minus q, the force acting on minus q is minus eq and the force acting on plus q is plus eq, and those are separated by a distance 2a. So this dipole is placed in an electric field. We will observe some torque. The torque rotates the dipole into along the field direction. So the torque tau will be nothing but a force into perpendicular distance between the charges, that is AC. AC we can find out the AC from using the triangle ABC. We can write sin theta equal to AC by 2a. AC is nothing but AC equal to 2a sin theta. Substitute this AC, then we will get tau equal to force into force is EQ and 2a sin theta. 2a Q is nothing but a dipole momentum P. Therefore, tau equal to PE sin theta. PE sin theta means P cross E. Therefore, torque acting on the dipole is nothing but tau equal to P cross E. This is our today's class, and tomorrow we will discuss the remaining questions. Thank you.